What are we doing?
The claw.
What did you do?
I ran it in that crane. Wow, that was a refrigerator. You can literally see Mustang.
They're grooming the pile.
They're grooming the pile?
Grooming the pile.
They're grooming the pile. Rebar, pipes, girders. That's gonna be going into that big shear on the back side of this. I love this place. I love it here. Today we are coming to you from Long Beach, California. We are with SA Recycling. I was looking for an SA Recycling logo, there isn't one, but we'll cut to one right here. SA Recycling. And this is their scrap facility, export facility at the port. So behind me, we have machines sorting scrap metal, scrap steel, scrap cars. There's their big shredder behind me. All of this is being processed and eventually loaded onto ships for sales to foreign countries for processing. So all of this is scrap material that's being recycled, it's being melted down into new steel, metal products soon after it leaves this port here. To sort all of the material, clearly they have a lot of massive cat machines, big material handlers. They have a 988 on solid tires. I think there's a shear around here somewhere. There's a magnet. Magnets! Oh! There's trucks. It's a lot of heavy equipment required to move this around because obviously it's very heavy stuff. Why are they stacking the cars here? So,
build that wall!
all of these, that's a BMW. All of these cars were just brought in from trucks. Now he's carefully stacking them all up. Right behind that is the feed for the shredder. So he's organizing everything to be real nice so that when night shift comes in tonight for more shredding, they can just grab the cars and feed them in there nice and easy. They don't have to reach all over the place. So during the day, they bring material in, they organize it. At night, the shredder runs, chews through all this material, and then tomorrow they'll bring new cars in, go through the shredder.
Now you face the shredder.
The shredder?
Turn to bits. 2,000 tons per day. Wow.
Just dumping a load of refrigerator. What a crazy place to be right now.
We got the movies, refrigerators.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's fascinating. Wow. He's dropping them on that car to flip them over to make sure there's no catalytic converter and make sure the fuel tank's good to go.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
What a crazy place.
This is just to illustrate the variety of materials they bring in here. They have cars, they have refrigerators, they have train cars, they have turbines, jet turbines, they have steel cable, all kinds of metal. Any kind of scrap metal is coming in here, being processed, being separated, put on ships, put on trucks, put on rail, sent out for the sake of recycling. Anything metal can be recycled continuously. There's no degradation in a steel or an aluminum or a copper. You can take it from whatever products you have, you can recover it from any old product, melt it back down, turn it into a completely new product.
This is where they make licorice.
So up front, we saw the smashed cars getting thrown around by that material handler. It goes into this shredder, this super shredder.
It's a super shredder!
And this is what comes out. Shredded cars.
This is a Jack Daniels sign.
Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. So this is everything that goes in the conveyor in the front. It's cars, it's water heaters, tires, rebar. everything here is the final product. That's actually the very end of the machine. And then all of this is grabbed by material handlers, thrown into those trucks right there, lifted up by that crane, put into ships, and about 30,000 tons per ship is loaded and sent overseas for recycling, processing. And then he says it's the circle of life because across the way are all brand new cars coming back into the United States from abroad. So all of this will be turned potentially into new cars that will be just over there in a matter of months, if not years. Behind us, we were on the other side of this where we picked up some of the material, but this is all of the shredded material. So you can see there's a stacking conveyor that'll move back and forth to stack up all of the shredded material from last night. And Angel, thanks to Angel and his drone, will show you some footage of a D8 back there pushing the pile for some, I guess, material management.
They're grooming the pile.
They're grooming the pile?
They're grooming the pile.
They're grooming the pile to make sure that they can move all of this for export, or to make sure that they can put more material onto the pile tonight when they shred some more. Like at least a 50-foot pile. 50-foot pile of just scrap. Shredded between 4 to 8 inches, as he explained. All right, I just want to explain then the trucks that they use here. They use 773s. It's a 50-ton Caterpillar truck. But if you look very closely at the truck, you'll notice that it is about twice the size.
That doesn't make you look twice as big.
This is if there were a bear coming. I'm much bigger than I am. So the truck is much bigger because this is obviously a lightweight material. You need a lot more volume of it to achieve that 50 tons. So to get the most out of the truck to make the operation as efficient as possible, they've built essentially monster sideboards on top of the rock guard on the front of the truck and then on the sides of the tray, so that they can mound up all of this material in there, drop it into the tray on the crane, and put it in there so they move as many tons as they can per truck.
Metal is light and fluffy.
It is very fluffy. Yeah.
It kind of looks like I just want to go lay in it, like jump in it like a leaf pile.
It does look very comfortable from here.
That's the most comfortable looking shredded metal I've ever seen in my life.
You get a little closer to it and it looks a lot scarier.
I said that about his mom.
It happened again. That was my cloth to clean my lenses, but I guess I'm not cleaning my lenses today. Can you just explain this to like an 8-year-old? Like what's going on just in general?
This commodity is all shreddable material, all stuff that we can run through a shredder.
Yeah.
There's a market for shredded material.
Yeah.
That market, that material over there is that HMS or PNS? HMS. So unprepared, they're gonna run it through a shear that we have over there, and then they're gonna prepare it and sell it as a different commodity.
Okay.
So the ships, when they come, they're gonna come specifically for one type of material or another, for one commodity or another.
Okay.
So he's getting ready, he's setting up his pile so that when the night shift comes in and they start running the shredder, it's set up so that he can just constantly feed that machine.
Yeah, yeah. This is quite interesting. You obviously have the materials are extracted from the earth. You're then processed into your consumer goods, your car, and then when your car reaches the end of its life or is totaled, if Eric Jumper were driving it,
I've never smashed a car in my life.
it comes here to the recycling facility. Now, they get the cars, they pile them up. We're in the shredder right now. The shredder runs every night for the sake of cheap power. So it just ran last night, it'll run again tonight. The car starts roughly at about 2,500 pounds of total material. It goes, is crushed, and then goes through the shredding process. In the shredding process, a lot of that is steel, like we saw out there, just showed you. And then the rest is this ASR material. That is everything else within that car. That then goes to secondary processing. The secondary processing breaks it down into different sizes of aluminum, wire, brass, copper. So,
Whoa, calm down. Calm down.
so once it goes through secondary processing, this is what you end up with. Stuff like this, copper wire, small bits, that is then sent to the different recycling operations that will take this, melt it down, and turn it into new copper products. The same goes for aluminum, wire, radiator elements. Eric, what is a radiator?
They put my grandfather in a similar jar.
So that gives you a little bit of an overview as far as what's happening here.
It is so clean in here. I feel like I'm doing a disservice to this building by standing in it.
Is your grandfather actually dead?
One of them.
Just little timeline of
Oh, wow.
how the yard looked over the years.
So you guys have been here for that long?
Since 1962.
1962? Wow, look at that. 9,000 horsepower electric motor.
I don't even know how you'd fit 9,000 horses in here.
The shredder generates so much heat because of friction forces.
Yeah.
We have a plume of steam coming out. We capture all those emissions, but it's still really hard for him to see. So he relies heavily on that infrared camera.
Whoa.
He also uses these controls on these monitors. And again, the main one that he's looking at is the RPM on the motor, because if the RPM goes below a certain threshold, the shredder would, to protect itself, would just shut down.
So he's constantly making fine adjustments
Yeah.
all night, huh?
The shredder here, the operator is mainly focused on the material coming into the shredder, checking the RPM, and then he has another guy walking the downstream system because we're processing metal. A lot of times we'll get a belt that rips, and we have to stop and fix that. Yeah, this shredder has been in operation, I believe, since 05, 06.
2005.
Running every day, about 6 days a week, 2,000 tons a day. Do the math, it's a lot of tons.
That's amazing. 2,000 tons a day since 2005.
Wow.
I'm in the middle of two piles right now. One, this material handler, that material handler is sorting material brought in by semis right now, and these dumpster trucks, they're dumping all of this scrap material here in front of the shredder. That conveyor belt right there leads into where we just were, which is the shredder, which then spits everything out on that back side. So tonight, 2,000 tons of this right here, like old bicycles, is going into the shredder to be shredded up to turn into that fine scrap material we saw on the other side. Now this material handler back here is sorting out, this is all oversized steel. Most of this is rebar, pipes, girders. That's gonna be going into that big shear on the back side of this. But he's picking out some of the material to put over here to put through the shredder. They want to separate it out because some material is better off in the shear, more efficient there, bigger sizing. Some's better off in the shredder to get it small and bite size for export. Yeah, just look at this. Chase, just look at the sheer size of this tool, of this metal muncher. This, it's attached to a Caterpillar 349, and its purpose is to munch and cut through basically things like this. Cut through UPS vans, buses, trash trucks, beams, whatever you have that's solid steel, this thing can cut right through. So this thing cuts it up and then makes it into small enough pieces so that they can put it into the big shear and the shredder for further processing. This just helps break things down, big things, into smaller pieces. Oh, look at the teeth.
Yeah. There are.
Oh my word. This dozer right here, this D6, it is to primarily push the material they load in ships into the corners of the cargo hold within the ships, but also if zombies were to attack, this would be a very effective tool to defend yourself as well. So you can see this helps get through and push the steel, the shredded steel material in the cargo hold. And then this shackle, that one, it has 4 of them, are the points that this machine's lifted up and placed into that cargo hold with. And then when it's done, it's lifted back out, plopped back up on shore, and the ship heads out. Excuse me, I'm trying to get home. Is this bus running? What are you doing?
Sorry.
It's a little wet in here.
Yeah.
Ah.
Can't help but think about the vlogs coming.
Yeah.
Look, Mom Spaghetti, if you had Mom Spaghetti, he's...
I don't know if this bus is running, Chase.
No, I think we got off on the wrong stop.
We need to find another bus.
I'm standing or squatting underneath the 5-yard grapple. So these are the machines, they have 2 of them, that they use to load the 773s, which then dump into the bin and get loaded onto the ship. They're 773s, right? Yeah. What?
I just ran into the crane.
What?
Oh, it's still flying though. Oh no.
Oh, you mean that big red frame?
He broke his drone.
Hold on.
What did you do?
I ran it in that crane.
Oh. Oh, is that because you're not the designated drone operator?
See, look. But it survived.
Wait, how did it hit in the middle of the drone between the props and stay flying? That's impressive, Eric. Ooh, yeah, it's chunking.
Oh. Okay. So this is a 988 right behind me. They have a few 988s in this yard. They're used for cleaning up stuff. You'll notice that the tires on this machine are a lot smaller, and that's because they're solid rubber. Working in a scrap setting like this, you have a lot of sharp objects, obviously. If this were normal, this were running on normal tires, you'd shred the tires immediately. So with these solid rubber, they still get chewed up and you still have to replace them. And you can even see, I mean, pieces of metal embedded in the tire.
Is that a nut?
Yeah, that's a nut. There's all sorts of shreds in here, but you can run this machine all over the place through any kind of metal without worrying about the tire popping. All right, Eric, what did you think about the scrap facility?
It's neat.
Very neat. Thank you so much to SA Recycling for having us out this morning. It was an absolute treat, very unique. Everybody says, go look at stuff other than big dirt, so here you go.
Not a single piece of dirt.
I didn't see a single piece of dirt.
Piece of dirt.
But still lots of machines. So hopefully you enjoyed. And with that, we'll see you in the next one. Stay dirty, everybody.
Stay metally.